Do you sometimes struggle to link the anatomy that you might have learned to the things that you see and feel in your practice? Does it ever feel like you see connections from top to bottom in the human form that just aren't explained in textbooks? Do you ever get frustrated that anatomy is often taught by people who don't understand your work or who don't have a joined up perspective of the human body? What if you could see clearly how all the parts of the body are connected and have someone show you how what you think and feel really does make perfect anatomical sense after all? Hi, my name is Julian Baker from Functional Fascia, and I've been a manual therapist for over 30 years and have a huge fascination for the body, how it moves, how it hangs together, and how it functions. I started running human dissection classes specifically for manual and movement therapists over 12 years ago, and I found ways of teaching anatomy to these groups that are just incredibly different from the traditional ways. By studying connective tissues such as fascia, I've developed a system of showing therapists that the traditional style of anatomy and just looking at muscles in isolation isn't complete, and we need to understand how all the body parts relate to each other. By starting an assessment, for instance, from the feet up and observing how each movement ends in the neck and head, we can quickly ascertain where limitations and restrictions might arise, irrespective of where clients might be reporting where their problem is coming from. Similar with pain, any point of pain is sometimes the last place to start. Pain is an output message from the brain and can be unreliable. We can have pain without damage and damage without pain, and the two aren't necessarily related and can sometimes be even misleading when we're trying to problem solve how to work with a client. Similarly, when we talk about restrictive movement, it can often be a compensation for a shortening or limitation that's been building up for a really long time, and it may well be that this is found a distance away from the site of the reported pain or injury. Traditional anatomy tends to break things down into parts, and it enables them to be studied and named, but anatomy is just the study of the body, it's not the study of the humans. The best anatomist in the world might know loads about the body, but nothing at all about how it moves around. If we're not looking at the whole person and joining up the parts, then we're missing a trick and probably not being as effective as we could be. We think about how heavy a head is, for example. The position of the head is going to change the way and the distance that we can step. There are so many more areas to consider around the body, but if anything I've said here rings a bell or makes you want to look at the body in a wider perspective, go ahead and like my page, and I'll be sure to include you in the future information about the ways I explain different functions and parts of the human form.